Every request needs a ticket? Understood. A few years ago I was an IT analyst for an aerospace company in Toronto. There were 3 sites, and 1 analyst for each site. I was barely able to keep up with the workload for my site but managed. One day I found out that 1 analyst had given a month notice and had already quit. The company did not replace him. I had to drive daily between cities to manage both sites. Shortly after, my boss was let go, and I was given a new boss who lived in another country. The work piled up, and several employees at a time would have non-working computers because there was nobody to help them. I had to stop supporting projects that I was involved in with other managers, like getting 20 computers for the factory floor. This was definitely going to blow up, and I needed to cover myself. I had a talk with the GM and explained that I'd get walk-ups, phone calls, texts and emails because most of the employees refused to use the ticket system. I'd even have employees coming up when I was on a call and try talking in my ear. The GM decided that all requests must come in the form of a ticket. I adopted a no ticket equals no work policy and enforced it on all employees and managers. I also stopped answering texts and calls. I'd answer all email requests with, "Please open a ticket." Most managers refused, so I would just thank them for their time while they fumed off to file a complaint against me. A week went by with no copier on the main floor because everyone refused to open a ticket to request more ink. Everyone had to walk downstairs to make their copies. A week went by with several lathes in the factory not working because everyone refused to open a ticket. Several computer illiterate, lazy employees would now have to ask their coworkers for help because they refused to open a ticket, and now they're behind on their work. Sometimes a new employee would spend 2 or 3 days in the office with no laptop and no user account. Because the requests never came in the form of a ticket, employees would go on business trips without laptops because they refused to open a ticket. This went on for several months and I was able to partially manage both sites. But it was exhausting arguing with everyone every day. I'd get threatened by management all the time but nothing would ever come of it. I found out one day that the company wasn't planning on replacing the employee who quit. So I had enough. I spent a few weeks declining requests as usual. But when they came from a manager I'd add, "And if you don't like it, then fire me." Request denied. Eventually I decided my mental health was more valuable than the company. And when the last analyst went on vacation I simply left my phone and laptop on my desk and stopped coming in for my shifts. 0 notice given. A week later I get a call from HR. They found my wife's hash as an emergency contact, and said I let them down and there was nobody to help. I replied with, "Good. Now you know how it feels," and left it at that. 6 months later the only analyst left tells me the company replaced my position with 2. But they're still in rough shape. All they had to do was replace an employee. TL. Dr. Aerospace Company doesn't replace IT staff when they quit. Workload doubles. I get permission to decline requests that don't come in the form of a help desk ticket. Everyone refuses tickets. I refuse work. No work gets done. What a stupid situation. Just hire another employee and have you train them. Also, how lazy are the people in the company not to take the time and write a ticket? That company is doomed to fail. My team of 5 got pushed down to 2 during COVID. I got a call one day saying they would need to lay off my other coworker. I told them if they did that, I would quit. They found budget for him real fast. Not MC, but I def feel you on this. I have a strict no ticket, no help policy where I am now as I'm tired of being interrupted during other work or during my off time for something stupid. If it's an emergency, I have a secretary they can contact. Tell me you work for British Aerospace Engineering without telling me you work for BAE. I don't see any maliciousness or any compliance. But why on earth do people hate tickets so much? I've seen it too. But, really, it just makes things so much easier. Also, there is way too much work for me to do, is not in any way solved by a ticketing system. Unless you expect people to live with their problems rather than submit a ticket. Terrible all around, and I'm glad you are out. Up. If you were still there, I would offer my services. I am US based, but I have an IT firm that specializes in aerospace. We work with many aerospace companies in Canada, big and small, across all southern provinces, including Nova Scotia but not Newfoundland. I have solid references from the Lockheed engine shop in Montreal all the way down to many of the helicopter companies handling mining and exploration logistics. I don't disagree with what you did nor the outcome, but I suspect that this is hardly malicious compliance. You were overworked and you had a meeting with your boss about being inundated. You suggested to your boss a solution. Your boss accepted your solution. And the end result was a system that allowed you to ignore some of the chaos. You were following your own plan, not theirs. Malicious CYA perhaps. I'm sure the folks over in our anti-work would love it too. I would have gone to management and told them that they need to fill that position or I'll quit. Ultimatums can work if you hold the cards. A company run by idiots who don't see the importance of a functioning support infrastructure. Yes, I let you down. Only after you let me down and dropped the whole IT department on top of me. Quote, no malice, no compliance. Just managers and employees, you included, being bad at their jobs. +1 as I enjoyed the story itself. When you talk to corporate, always talk dollar, either in cost or savings. r/on YouTube has said it best. Never mess with the IT person. Quote, my dad works on computers for a living, so I know how bad things could get, but what I don't understand is all this could have been avoided if they simply hired a new employee and the employees of the company actually put in a ticket. I mean, how else are you supposed to know what's actually wrong without a ticket so that there is evidence that it needed to be done? And aerospace is still a hot mess. I think we should celebrate more pagan holidays. All hail the woodchuck. MRM 4 feet R 2221.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aerocast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.